for the greatest show in the history of great fucking shows.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
Okay, here we are in studio, 48th floor. I'm with my main man, Bobo. J-Bop and Conspiracy Donny G.
What's up, Dano?
Not much, man. I'm good. It's Donnie, not Daniel. Fucking 2 minutes in, right? 2 minutes in, buddy.
This thing's getting
Two
butchered.
words in, sorry.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I'm glad you
Alright.
came out, man. This is great.
Well, I had to. This year's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Just don't be tapping that pen on the fucking table like an asshole. We just went over this.
Yes. All right. Did you hear that tap when I was doing it?
Okay, man. So tell us.
What would you want to know?
What have you been up to?
What I've been up to is learning the truth, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You say eyes wide open, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just go. Where are you from, first off?
Straight out of Surrey.
Surrey?
Now, growing up in Surrey, for me, we did have the first gang ever.
Yeah.
They were called the Wally Burnouts.
Mm-hmm. Were you a part of it?
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't part of it, but there's some, Helix listening kind of, I think with mixture with the jean jacket with the sequin stuff on the back there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the regular heavy metal jacket, and they would go and jack people at the bus stop. So they're the Wally Burnouts.
Yeah.
And people were scared to come to Surrey.
Nice. Well, we're going to have to get a few Wally Burnouts on the show here.
We may have one right now.
You got three of the Guilford Chasers over here.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. That was fun getting chased.
But, so you want to know some conspiracies, eh?
Well, I just want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
First, why don't you tell us about yourself before you go right into that?
Well, those are the goods, though, man.
Yeah.
What goods?
Those are the goods.
Yeah, what do I want to share? I mean, these conspiracies could get me in trouble. I could get the RCMP coming to my house. You never know.
Well, let's not go that deep, but let's just go off the shit that you're blasting on everybody's wall on Facebook.
Like the top of the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The very top of the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But no, I got it. I can lay it out for you guys in a couple minutes here.
Okay, let's do it.
Really simple.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to tell you that for centuries, long before any one of us were born, right, that we all know there's evildoers in the world, right? There's people that do B&Es, there's people that rob, there's people that murder. There's some bad people out there, right? And later in the show, I could mention why I actually believe in Satan and I believe in Jesus. But for now, I'm going to say what I believe is that, Satan roams the earth and he's a spirit. And I believe that what he did was he infiltrated the hearts of men. That we're all wicked in our hearts, whether it's lust or whether it's pride or could be many different things, right? We all know the 7 deadly sins. So anyways, Satan is running around the earth, and his job is keep everybody from Jesus. So this is long before we were born, right? Centuries ago. So what these people have done is they have gone to the top of all the power areas. So they have, over the centuries, moved into the top places of government. They've also moved into media. Now, we didn't have media before. I'm just saying it now. We kind of jump around a little bit, but basically, I believe that Satanists have gotten to the places of power that affects our world. So the governments, a huge one is the central banking system and the Federal Reserve. A lot of people may know about the 13 different families, the bloodlines, that these are these elite billionaires that are, the 1% that we don't know about, but we kind of hear about. So I believe that they have gotten to the top of the money chain. They've also taken over the medical system, the pharmaceuticals. They've taken over the schooling system, and then they've introduced media. So when these guys got to the top of all these places, they were able to affect what happens. And what they wanted to do was to enslave mankind. So that means from the moment you are born, you are enslaved. It's like a warfare platform. You're captured the moment you're born. And that's what that birth certificate does. Now, a birth certificate has capital letters on it. The only other place where your name is in capital letters is your gravestone. So you are considered dead or lost at sea. And you are right away captured by the greatest warfare platform there is, and that's run by the Vatican. So I'm going to bursting anybody's bubble out here. I'm sorry if you're Catholic.
Yeah.
But the Vatican's not good. I mean, it wasn't all these stories coming out of the priest touching little boys. It wasn't really that random. It was actually more the method of operation. Yeah.
Huge.
So if you're Satan,
Yeah.
and you want to keep people from Jesus, one of the smartest things to do would be to discredit God, right? Discredit his house, right?
Yeah.
And the Catholic Church is huge.
Yeah.
So if you were going to infiltrate an area where people would lose their hope in God, that would be one of the first places you'd go.
It sounds funny, but it's actually true because they're like, look what's happened. Like we're talking millions of fucking cases of children being abused over like thousands of years.
Yes.
So
So
keep going.
that's what I believed, but but there's something that happened recently during this pandemic that brought it more to light.
Yes.
Okay, so real quickly, I'm going to touch on something I think that's super important on that is the television.
Okay, what does TV have to do with this?
Oh man, TV's been around for 80 years, so I'm going to say a generation and a half, right?
To brainwash us.
There is a Operation Paperclip.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can look this
Marco,
up.
go take a breather. Go take a
Okay.
breather.
Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm just too hot. I'm going to take my shirt off.
Oh, fuck.
I thought you were gonna have another jersey on underneath that.
That would have been funny.
Okay, we're live. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So let's go back ways in time here, say around World War II, perhaps.
Yes.
Now, you know how Donald Trump is smeared right now. If you were listening to the MSN, Donald Trump is the worst person in the entire world, right?
Yeah,
We've never seen anything like it. He's the worst. Well, I'm going to say that they did the same thing for Hitler. I'm going to tell you that Hitler was going after the Zionist Jews and he was going after the bankers, and that the deep state and the Satanists that were in charge of this, they were funding both sides of the war. And it's pretty heavy if you think about having the Germans, the Jews, and the Americans, and everyone that died in that war on a complete
That
lie.
was fucked up. Yeah.
A complete false flag. It wasn't just about Hitler trying to exterminate the Jews and New World Order. He was actually going after the Zionist Jews, which was the central banking system. Go ahead.
Okay, so what you're saying is Hitler was going after the Jews, right? So Donald Trump is going after the Jews too?
No. I'm saying that Hitler was
Well, then why the fuck are
vilified.
you comparing the two?
I'm going to say Hitler was vilified in the same way that Donald Trump is being vilified now. I'm not saying that Hitler was a good guy, but what I understand was that he was actually friends with people in America here, and he was not this fascist, eradicate every Jew. He was going after the Zionist Jews,
No.
and there was Jews that were in the SS that actually received wards in the SS. Now, you guys are laughing. You find this funny, but
I'm not laughing, Dan.
No,
Okay.
I'm not laughing. I just
Yeah, you are, you fucking asshole. You're laughing. I'm actually intrigued by what you're saying, but keep going.
okay.
Okay.
Keep going.
So, when the war was over, the Americans went in and they took the German scientists that were doing what would you say, experiments on the Jewish people.
Oh, absolutely.
And but they took these guys back and put them on the American payroll. They lied to Eisenhower and they brought these guys back and they put them on the American payroll. And these guys continued doing their experiments. And that's part of where television came from. Originally, they had these propaganda films where people would come and they would play them and they'd show them all these bad things about the German people. And it was like, okay, let's go kill the German people. It's how they would wind everyone up, right?
Well, yeah, they wanted people to go fight the war, right? So you have to.
Get what they want.
Yeah.
So they morphed it into television. And television is not an entertainment device. And
I beg to differ.
they like to put stuff, well, you
Well,
might have
it
been
is.
entertained by it, Rob. But, excuse me, my brother, you might have been entertained by it. It can be entertaining, but that's not why it was made. right? The reason they made television, and they tell us right there, vision. So they're telling you lies to create a vision for you. And for many people, they went to work, their busy lives, they came home, they turned the TV on. And that's what they do most of their lives, except for a few holidays. So their reality was formed by that television. And if the guys that are forming that television want you to think a certain way, want you to think that when I'm telling you something that you didn't hear on the TV set, that it's conspiracy theory. Like that is the most...
I can get on board with that.
That's the most seriously out of control thing, is when JFK got killed, the CIA brought that word up because everyone's like, well, if you didn't believe that he was shot from the grassy knoll, it was a conspiracy theory. So if you don't believe what you're being told, then it's conspiracy theory. They don't want you to critically think for yourself. So the CIA is involved in the making of all TVs, shows, all of them. The scripts that come out, the TV shows, the movies, the ads, it's one big programming device. Channel the programming. We have never been under this kind of mind control and brainwashing ever. We are a generation and a half deep where television, you may say, well, I didn't watch a lot of television.
I watched a lot of cartoons. Is that why I'm so
big
fucked
time,
up?
Man. Foghorn Leghorn, he definitely was deep state, brother.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
So what's the problem you have with it? The fact that paperclip is a real thing that you can look up, and the fact that they made television.
Well, I guarantee that everything you're telling me and going to tell me today, I can look up on the internet.
Yes,
but it doesn't mean that it's true. It just means that somebody has created that train of thought and then put it out there, and then I don't mean this in a bad way.
No,
but
okay.
Simple-minded people like yourself cling to it and absorb it, and then you go further and further and further down the rabbit hole.
Don't you think it's more you people clinging to what you've been told that you don't? It's a, you know what it is? Because it's a mental chore to get over that hump, and you lose your safety and you also lose like a bit of your security when what you thought was real is not real. That's a hard thing to do, and you know why I'm able to do it? Because I believe in Jesus. Because I believe in Satan. For you guys, it's a major hump when I tell you, did you know there's satanic people that are running our schools and running our medias, and they're stealing our children and drinking their blood? When I tell you that, you're like, that sounds a little fucking crazy, buddy. Right?
It definitely does sound crazy. I mean, it's all basically unbelievable.
Yeah. So,
I mean, look up adrenochrome on your phone. You guys all know adrenochrome is real. There's synthetic adrenochrome out there, right?
Yeah.
Where, man, it's horrible in Asia. Fetuses of abortions are being cooked into like a powder and then put in a pill form, and the people are taking it, and they believe that eating and drinking baby blood makes them young.
Yeah, and then I also know what you posted from Zionist Abe Finkelstein there about fucking chopping up the babies and putting them into McDonald's sausage and hamburgers, and that we're all eating it.
Yeah.
Like, do you actually really fucking believe that? Do you really believe that, Dan?
You know why I believe it?
So I just had McDonald's literally when you were here. So I was eating
a beef?
McDonald's.
Was
yeah,
it beef?
I was eating a baby then.
Now,
Is what you're telling me.
Finkelstein said this a while back.
How the fuck can you even believe? What's his name? Zionist Abe Finkelstein?
And you know what he used to be? In the Illuminati.
An idiot.
And he's telling you that we did this. He's telling you firsthand, this is what we did.
Yeah, but how can you tell that he is actually he was in the Illuminati? It could just be anybody telling anything. It could be anybody telling a story.
Yes. I assume when he says that he's in the Illuminati, that if people know he's not, that they would come forward with it. Like, I don't know the guy personally. And this is what we're all going to, we're coming down to this right now. Proof.
yeah.
Okay? So what I like to think is, in the absence of absolute proof,
Yeah.
like, because even if someone tells you something happened, they could be lying,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
I could tell you my dick is like 13 inches long right now, and I'd be lying.
11 and a half.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. No.
Okay, so let's switch gears here a little bit. And what's going on with your work?
The lack of work. I'm on stress leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened there?
Well, just before I jump to that point, I have to say when I finishing what I believe is happening, I went through the past, right? I said the past couple centuries, these satanic guys got to the top, right? And I believe that the final nail in the coffin was going to be if Hillary Clinton got into power. The Clintons, the Bushes, and Obamas are all satanic, are all into Satanism, and they're connected to the 13 families, elite families. Now, the reason I believe they're Satanists and that they're doing that stuff is because the Bible tells us that Satan is the ruler of this world system. Tells us that he is in charge of this terrible world that we're living in. And a lot of people are aware, but they're not quite awake. So anyways, it was a really easy jump for me to be like, okay, if these guys are the top and they're practicing Satanism and we're told that, that's the rule, that the ruler of the world is Satan, then it just all goes together for me. But
so you're like piecing like little pieces of the puzzle, and you're critically, like, what do you call it? Critical thinking.
Critically thinking.
Critical thinking.
Well, hold on.
Explain to that, because a lot of people don't know.
We're jumping around a little bit, so I'm going to tell you what I consider. Okay, so what we got the last part I want to talk about is the tunnels and the children, and then we got critical thinking, and then we got my work. Yes. Okay, so critical thinking.
Yeah.
In the absence of absolute proof, what you have to do is for me, it's important to figure out why is that person saying it. Right? Like Finkelstein there. Why?
That rabbi Finkelstein?
Yes.
Rabbi Finkelstein. Don't grab the mic, man.
Why is somebody telling you something? For me, that's important to figure out, right?
Character though?
No, he's not. You've seen it, right?
I saw the post, yes.
Okay, so he's
but
a real dude.
It was a video. He actually says it on.
No, it was just.
Okay.
It was just.
He's a real dude. So Finkelstein is real.
Yes. Okay. Why? Okay, so why are they saying it, and is it plausible? For me, because in the thing of absolute proof, we cannot absolutely prove anything. None of us have met Donald Trump. None of us have met any of these people we're talking about. So we have to go by what we've heard and what we've seen and what you believe and what you don't believe. And that's, for me, that's what I run it by. This is a really easy example, okay? If somebody is telling you they believe in flat earth, that person really believes in their heart that it's flat earth. They didn't wake up one day and be like, hey, it's a flat earth. They were shown something. They looked at it. And for some people, it would be like, well, you're an idiot for having to believe that. But that person won't even look at the evidence. So who's the idiot? The person who won't look at it, or a person who looked at it and believed in it? So all I'm saying, Rob, is the person who's going to try and tell you that the earth is flat. They're not trying to make money. They're not trying to fool you. Their simple purpose is they really believe in their heart that the earth is flat. So that, for me, that's one of the ways I critically think what I'm believing in and what I'm not believing in.
Okay.
But you yourself don't believe in flat earth.
I do, actually.
Okay, can I just touch on that one there for a sec?
Jeez,
okay. You woke
Donnie.
up.
Come on, Mark.
Okay, Donnie. Okay,
Sorry,
Donnie.
Donny G.
You woke up one day,
Yes.
and everything that you were taught before about the earth being round, since the day you were born, the earth is round. You woke up one day and you saw what?
Here's what
that
happened.
made you believe the earth is
Okay,
flat.
I'm about to tell
Was
you.
it a picture or a map?
No. It's this. So anybody that would talk about flat earth to me, I would laugh and jeer and make fun of them. Not very Christian, but I was definitely to be like, are you nuts? There's no way the earth is flat. There's no way. So I'm at this, we did a rally July 1st out in Victoria, right? And lots of different advocacy groups there. And there's this one really nice gentleman. We got along well. And actually, he turned out to be an incredible guy. I didn't look at this because of this reason, but he was like, I guess he's a multimillionaire. And I was at dinner and I was saying that, well, I only have a little bit of food. Me and my son are out there, right? So we're out there for dinner. And I said, well, somebody paid the bill. And I said, thank you, because things are a little tight. He has me like this envelope. Turns out it had $500 in it. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. He just gives me $500, right? Being a generous thing to do. So anyways, leaving with this guy, see you later, and he hands me this white envelope. And I was like, what's this? And he's like, oh, just look at it when you can. And then he started talking about flat earth. And I said, you son of a bitch.
He's trying to bribe you.
You snuck that one in on me because I wouldn't even look. So in it was a real nice silver loonie, a 1 ounce silver coin, and a thumb drive that had a whole bunch of evidence on it. So I said, okay, finally. I was like, okay, I'm going to give in and look at this. So I gave in and looked at it, and it was simply just made sense. Like I looked at it. I'm not an idiot. You guys have all known me for a long time. I looked at this and I went, it's plausible.
Yeah.
That's it. It's plausible. There's one note I'll give on it. Did you know that Antarctica you cannot go into on your own? You'll be met with lethal force. There's 51 countries that have a treaty right now guarding Antarctica. You are not allowed to go in there.
Well, that's because they don't want people mining and drilling it, right?
But it's like a wasteland. It's not some pristine. They treat it like you have to take your poop out.
It
You
also-
can't even take a dog in
I
there.
believe it also holds one of the richest oil deposits
Yeah.
in the world. So
And potential gold.
So
and
why
stuff.
lethal
But
force
anyways,
though?
go-
If you got $1 million, why can't you fly over it? They won't even let you fly over it.
Anyways, okay, that's
It's
but
weird, right?
Get
it's
back
like,
to-
guys, it's not weird.
Okay,
Why
let-
can't you fly over the thing?
Let's get back to flat Earth here.
Yeah.
So he gave you a USB
This envelope,
thing and
and
with
I went over-
$500, a silver coin,
Yes.
and that. So the guy basically bought your opinion.
I realize your comedy
No,
conjecture
no,
on
not
there, but
comedy
it's-
conjecture. Now just listen to this, okay?
Yes.
Now just
I would've
listen.
looked at it
I
without that, though.
Okay, you would have looked at it without
Yes,
that.
totally.
Now, what made you decide? What information was on there that you went, "Oh my God, the Earth is flat"?
Antarctica.
Yeah.
Secondly, compasses. Compasses don't work on a ball.
That is
They work
true.
on a flat surface.
That is true.
You have the Panama Canal. There is an area where the water goes for so long that if the Earth was curved, it wouldn't be able to be like that without locks. It wouldn't work, Rob. A helicopter. If a helicopter takes off
Yeah.
and he hovers for an hour in one spot, why, when he comes back down, is he in the same spot? If the Earth was moving, it wouldn't be the same spot anymore.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
When an
Now-
airplane's flying, right? If there was a globe, he would have to keep tipping his nose down every so often to get over the globe. But they don't have to do that.
Okay, but doesn't like gravity and shit have something to do with that, and you know like the moon and the
way
sun
that-
and everything
way-
else.
the way it's
But
spinning.
anyways, Dan.
Yes.
Okay, so but now let's fast forward to now. Now
Okay.
we have satellites up there that take pictures of the Earth as a ball, and you don't believe that?
Not one of those pictures is real. They're all photoshopped, Rob.
Holy mother! Okay.
Hold on. So you believe that you know that we haven't had a moon landing since 1972? How many in our lifetimes have we not seen? I searched the other day. I couldn't believe it. Like, you could look it up real quick. We've not been to the moon since 1972, and they said they've lost the coordinates. That's why we can't go back. But have we not had any? Have we not had any whatever launches in your lifetime? We've seen launches, right?
Yeah.
The Apollo and stuff like that. Hasn't that happened?
Yeah, we also saw the Discovery blow up or whatever.
Yes.
Or whatever. Sorry, that's probably
Challenger.
wrong. The Challenger, yeah.
Yeah.
But what's that have to do with anything?
Well, we haven't been to the moon since 1972.
So he's basically saying they're lying to us. They're,
okay,
they're
but
photoshopping us.
maybe there's
Well,
no
that's
reason to
one
go
thing
back
I've
to the
always-
moon.
And this is the best one. If you're trying to tell me that in 1972 and 1968, we actually had the technology to send a video signal from the moon down to the Earth, because that's what we were all shown.
Yeah.
I don't
I've
know,
always
guys.
actually wondered about that. Because
Thank
it's-
you.
How
me,
come?
me too. All.
How come there's been no amateur astronomer or anybody that's always looking at the stars? How come they haven't developed a telescope that's actually showing you a picture of where they've actually landed?
Yeah.
I've always wondered that.
Yeah.
It's like why there's no, or they never show that. Even NASA doesn't show a picture of that place now. I've always, like I said,
Yeah, it is a little bit weird, but
I think you guys are. I think people are aware, like they don't really trust their government, and they have people have
I
all
can
these
get on board with
ideas,
that.
and we heard that hell was below and that heaven was above, right?
yeah.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, I can't read
I
that
got
from here. I don't have my
terrible eyes.
I got
glasses.
terrible eyes.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
Okay, so I basically said, and this, and I'll tie it into my what happened to my job here recently, so the enemies in charge were all being enslaved, right? We're being fed lies, and we're being programmed, we're being lulled on our TV sets.
Yeah,
And
wake
then
up every day, go to work.
Poison in our food. The fluoride's not good for you. Apparently, it affects there's some pineal gland in your brain.
Yeah, fluoride's terrible.
but we brush our teeth with it and we continue to do it, right? And fluorides in the water and the chemtrails and all these different ways that we're being poisoned, right? When you believe that the people that are in charge of you are satanic people and that they want to enslave you and kill you, this stuff is a lot easier to believe.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So what happened recently was COVID for everybody, right? Like everyone else, I locked down. I was scared shitless. Oh my God, we're closing the borders.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my God, this is happening. That's happening. So it seemed really, it was real and it was scary for everybody. And then we had to look at, so I don't know about most of you, but all of a sudden distractions were gone. There was no more hockey. I loved my hockey. And so I'm at home and 24/7 with the family. No one's meant to be at home 24/7 with the family.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Well, unless
Yeah,
you love
for
them
sure.
a lot.
Love goes so far, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good beer.
Yeah, it's good. Russell beer. Mm-hmm. Russell Lager.
So it was Russell Brewing.
Yeah, it
Brewery.
RussellBeers.com, I believe.
Yes. So come to researching, right? And I come across Event 201, which lists that Bill Gates and the World Health Organization, the CDC and the CIA and the Chinese CDC and the central banking system, they all got together and did a pandemic simulation of the coronavirus
Yeah.
a month before the coronavirus breaks out. Like, if that's all I ever told you, you should be like questioning COVID right from there. How are all these people, especially the Chinese CDC, getting together and doing a pandemic simulation of the coronavirus, and then it breaks out? So I got on that note and started realizing, and then you look at the numbers that the World Health Meter, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at how people die before. None of us probably have.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers, the World Health Meter will tell you, 7 million people die of smoking every year, and then the government makes money off it, but they really care about you, right? And cancer, 2.4 million. There's something like ridiculous, like 24 million abortions on average a year. So there's lots of different car accidents. 37,000 people die every day in the world in car accidents. So I started comparing that to COVID, and I'm like, doesn't seem like this thing is this crazy thing that we should all be locked down for. So then I got my red pill. You guys understand the red pill, blue pill reference, everyone?
One's hot, one's cold.
No.
One's crazy, one's not crazy.
No, like one Democrat, one.
No.
No?
Well, explain it to us because we're running
All
out
right.
of
Well, I only have to say one word. You guys will know right away. Matrix.
the movie.
So the reason, this is just
That was a good
it's a
movie.
metaphor, Rob.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So what happens is when you finally get the red pill, when you have a red pill moment, that's when your eyes finally get open that this could all be true.
Yeah.
You can take that pill, but once you take that pill or the rabbit hole you guys might talk about,
Yeah.
then you can't go back. Like you were saying to me, if this doesn't happen, then I want you just to relax and maybe come out of it. And I'm like, it's like an elephant. You can't tell me now that I don't know what an elephant looks like.
I wanted to know
Yes.
was when I watched that Out of Shadows thing that you guys sent. Where in the point of that show did you start seeing what you're believing? Because when I watched it, I didn't see it. I didn't get it. And I was worried that there was going to be like spinning little things in the corner and gonna get me. And I'm not, and that's not even like I'm not lying. I'm not making a story sound better. I was worried that was going to happen.
Did you?
What part of it did it click in for you? Because it didn't click for me.
Okay. So I go to my friend's house that day, and we'd all kind of been separate because of COVID. And as would happen, a buddy of mine showed a picture of him sitting by a fire pit with his beer. And I said, wow, that sounds like pretty good. So I called him up. You worried about this COVID thing? He's like, no. So go over to his house, and then they start telling me about Hillary Clinton and all, eating babies and all this stuff. And I was like, this is nuts. What are you talking about? You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, and you know who I went over to. So they tell me the show Out of Shadows, right? And the Fall of the Cabal. So I go home, start with Out of Shadows, and my wife actually fell asleep during it. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and it gets to the part to where They go through the Luciferian things that one guy who's in charge of the Satanic Church, and then the guy says, oh, all of a sudden he started realizing that different parties and stuff like that, there was little hints about goth, and then it starts talking about Anthony Weiner, who was a senator who got caught touching a little girl, and that they're on the laptop. They found that there was emails on there that contained some really contained information about some really powerful people, Hillary Clinton and Obama being one of them, right? And in these emails, they're using pedophile language. Like, this is really what Pizzagate is about. The media told us it was about a guy with a shotgun going to Comet Pizza. Yeah. The real Pizzagate story is what's on this laptop. And so, Hillary Clinton lost her appeal, and she's going to have to go answer about this. But so when I was watching that thing, when that happened about the laptop and about the children, and I just remember, and this is the thing for me, and I haven't touched on it, but my life was changed 10 years ago when I had a spiritual awakening, and then I ended up having the Holy Spirit in me. The Spirit sometimes gives me wisdom, or helps me figure out what's real and what's not real.
Yeah.
I don't lean on my own understanding. Sometimes the Spirit will just tell me. It's the best way I can tell you. So it's like you're looking down. If I'm here and I'm looking down at the floor, and then Jesus will take me to the top of the building and have you look down. You get a real grander scope of seeing, right? Like a grander scale. And it just like I told you guys from the start, that's what just what my mind, the Spirit or whatever, told me inside. It says, oh my God, that they have.
So red flags were going off, and now you're starting to believe some of this stuff.
So question for you, when you were watching it, did you have any problem when he was talking about coming to Christ? Right?
No.
No? And did you watch it
fully? I watched it from beginning to end. But like I said, because I've said it to you guys, I've wanted to know how you and someone who I haven't spoken to in over 20 years, all of a sudden was talking to me for 2.5 hours about this stuff. So, I didn't see any. It didn't click in.
It didn't
for me.
resonate. Did you go to Follow the Cabal?
I watched those ones, but you guys were jumping from, okay, you got to start watching this one, watching 9 or whatever, start 9 or whatever.
Right? Yeah.
But then 9. I went back and watched other ones. But again, I didn't see it, and I
see. When you say see it, does that mean you didn't believe it?
It's not believing. It just nothing clicked in where I'm like, okay, that's what's truth, and what we've been believing
like the smoking
isn't
gun.
truth.
The smoking gun.
Can I just stop here for a second?
Yeah.
I before we start going, I think maybe we should go into how you came to Jesus and stuff. Sorry about banging, but I think that's something that you have to come into too. But that's just me saying that. You should go into how you came to, I don't know how came into Christ or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you should probably talk about.
And it's the most important thing. So I'm going to say that comes from Jesus inside of you. He's working inside of you right now, even though you don't know it.
Well, I went when I was younger. I did the Sunday school stuff, and I did all that stuff. We had a little puppet guy, and you had to this little puppet, and you had to learn your verses and bring your Bibles and try to bring friends to come, and at the end, the person who had the most of everything, and I got the puppet. Nice. I got to keep the puppet, but I mean,
well, there you go.
But again, it's.
So you did Sunday school with your parents? And
you got the
hair? No, not my parents.
You got the hair for it?
Really?
Not my parents.
Who?
Him.
Well,
He's got the hair
for it. You got the
it.
Jesus hair, yeah.
Moses.
Come and part the Red Sea.
Okay, so let's just
I know what you want. We'll get to it.
Let's quickly touch on how...
You can't quickly touch. This is the most important part of it.
Okay, Jesus came into your life. How?
I just think that's not...
What were you doing before Jesus coming into your life? Were you doing
everything I wanted to
cocaine?
Do? Yes, absolutely. Had all the temptations, right?
Yeah.
And leading to what I said is, I didn't know about Jesus really because it got kicked out of schools. I mean, we did Lord's Prayer when I was younger, but you know how the secularism, and if you have Satanists in charge of the media in your school, they're not going to be telling you about Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that wasn't taught to me, and I grew up absolutely, totally not believing in God. And there's many times a Christian tried talking to me, and I told them off.
Yeah.
Right. Oh well, if Jesus is inside of me, then I have the power inside of me. I am God. Don't worry about it. And I told many a Christian off. And you guys, if you look at it, honestly, I think you could say that a lot of people come to Jesus when their will is broken. We hear about people in jail.
Yeah.
Right? You're done. You think you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. Many people find Jesus in jail. Or people in near-death experience.
For hope.
In near-death experiences, right?
Yeah.
They come back. Or for addicts and alcoholics, it's a big one too.
Yeah.
It's about your will being broken. And what the world will say is, oh, well, one, you're either simple-minded, or two, you're weak and you need God. Yes, that's what happened to you. I don't need God. You're a fool. So that's what the world is going to tell you. But all I could tell you is my experience, right? It's called my testimony, right?
Yeah, tell it.
So I I wouldn't stop doing cocaine. Got told to stop doing it a few times, right? My partner was doing it with me, but not to the degree that I was.
Yeah.
And I continued to do it and was finally told, you're going to stop or you're going to lose your family. So I got dropped off at, I don't mind saying it, I got dropped off the launching pad out in White Rock. Fantastic place. There's 30 of us in this old folks home.
Cool.
And you get brought there. And of course, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to me or my family, right? I don't know if they're going to take me back.
Yeah.
So I got a bit of clothes and I get dropped off at this place with 30 people I don't know.
Holy fuck.
And they get told, if you want recovery, you're going to sleep on a couch in the hallway. And everyone else gets a room. And at 5:30 in the morning, you get up and you go over the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And there's no TV and there's no other literature. So I'm in there and I was pretty scared.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be honest, right? So I'm sleeping on this couch and the fog starts to clear a little bit because I was into cocaine and drugs. I was always high, right?
Yeah.
Either sleeping or I was high. So then you go to meetings, you start doing this, start clearing, and then these things start happening, what we say God shots, where a coincidence is kind of neat. Like, how did that happen? We'll call it coincidences, right? Or good luck or whatever you want to label it, right?
Yeah.
So these things are happening, but you're reading this Alcoholics Anonymous and God's like in there like 1,400 times. It's a program of God. No matter what you want to do, because the first step is admitting you have the problem. Second step is coming to believe that a higher power can take it away from you, right? Turning your life over to this higher power. So I'm doing all this, and all of a sudden I learned, well, not only am I not going to drink and do drugs, but I'm going to have to try to be spiritual. I remember myself, I tried fooling, say, okay, is it porn if you're watching your own movies?
No.
It's not, right?
No.
I think it's porn if someone else is watching it. Your movie.
So you should be able to watch your own movies, but someone tried saying to me, well, would you watch it with a kid? And I'm like, well, obviously I wouldn't watch it with my kid or any kid.
Who fucking asked you that?
I don't know. Somebody trying to basically say it was porn, I guess.
No.
So I'm thinking, oh my God, I have to give up porn. I have to give this. I wasn't ready for it, right? And this is a really neat thing. So acceptance, anytime you guys are upset, is when a person, place, thing, or situation is not how you think it should be. Until you accept that that's the way it's supposed to be, you can't find your serenity. Most of the time when we're upset about something, it's because we think something should be different or people should be different, right?
That's true, yeah.
But you don't believe everything about, like, you don't believe some of these pastors that are throwing their shirts and they're knocking over 400 people. Okay, so you're not believing.
Yeah, but the Benny Hinns aren't. They're in there to make money. They're not there to.
Well, again,
They're not there to help.
what did I say about what he's doing to the Vatican?
Yeah.
The demons will come as angel lights all the time, right? So there's two problems with the church. One problem is you have lots of people that are deceiving, that are in it for the money, and people that do have an evil heart, and they're touching boys and doing all that and ruining it for God. Yeah. And then you have people that are broken, who are trying their best to really tell you about Jesus, but they do it in an effed up way. Take the Baptists, for example. They're very judgmental, right? Yeah. And we've heard a lot of terrible stories. So there's many ways out there that it got ruined. So back to my story. Yeah. I'm in the house, and I was going to move into a guy's room, but he was snoring like a freight train. I said, well, I can't have that, right? How am I going to sleep? So I said, can I have my music player back? And like I said, you only got the big book of a.k.a. You don't get nothing else. You don't get no literature, no TV or nothing, right? So I got told I couldn't have my music player back. Well, I was piffed off. I stamped my feet, got mad.
Bust anything?
No busting.
No busting, okay.
Just busted to move later. So I decided what I was going to do is take my headphones and sneak it into his radio. Yeah. I'm in the middle of doing that, and the guy who said no to me comes walking past my room. The door's open a bit, And he didn't see me, but I saw him, and I kind of pulled it back. And I walked out, and I said, hey, man. He goes, hey, listen, I was praying to God, and you could have your thing back. And at that moment, I couldn't explain it away. Like, how could that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty serendipitous, Rob. That I'm doing my first act of. Sorry for saying your name again. I'm doing
You can say my name. My name is Rob.
Rob.
You're the only one that's incognito here. Yeah. Fucking undercover, man.
You guys have blown his cover numerous occasions already.
It's the beers. I need another beer.
Yeah, I almost got.
Yeah, Dano needs another one too.
Okay.
Oh, so I mean Donny G.
Donny G. But anyways, okay.
I'm going to shorten this up. I'll get there.
But can I touch on that right there?
Yeah, you can't touch me, but you can touch on it.
But okay, so you were going through this. You had asked for your headphones back.
Yes.
Right? And then 20 minutes later.
I don't know if I said a time.
No, but I'm just like,
Okay.
is that okay? A half hour later,
Sure.
hour later, whatever.
Sure.
This guy comes by, you walk out, and he goes, I prayed to Jesus for you to have your music.
No, he never
And
said
then
Jesus, but
Well, I
so here's what
prayed.
happened.
Whatever. Just
I
hear
prayed
me
to
out.
God.
I prayed to God that you could have your
And
player
God
back.
told him.
And God told him.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it's this serendipitous thing that you said, and all of a sudden, it's like, bam, wow.
Because-
is that a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence because the guy's just telling you that to get you to believe.
Okay, listen. So, and by the way, the guy wasn't a real big believer in God. I mean, in the program, you talked about God and they talked about praying. But this guy wasn't an overall godly person, to be honest with you, the guy in charge. The reason it was a need or coincidental or something I couldn't explain, Rob, is, okay, after this point, I realized I'm not going to do anything unspiritual, no lying or nothing. So am I going to take my headphones and sneak it into Buddy's thing when I'm not supposed to have music yet? Because I'm not gone to a certain point, right? So I'm in the middle of doing this act when Buddy walks by and I'm almost caught. And then I pop out, hey, man, what's going on? And he says to me right away, he says, well, hey, man, I was praying to God and you can have your music back. So to me, at that point, it just, that's the way God did it. That to me, it didn't make sense, right? So I go in my room and I prayed. And all I said was, and now praying is very hard when you've never prayed before. If you don't believe in God, you feel like a geek. There's nothing there, right? You're talking to yourself. So I'm like, God, please look after my wife and children while I'm away. Something took my breath away and twisted up inside of me. And I can remember the exact moment sitting on the edge of the bed. And it was like he stamped my brain with a stamp of his knowledge of his existence. It wasn't like a belief or I had knowledge. It was like a light switch. I don't believe in God. Ding. I believe in God. It was just that simple and that straightforward. Yeah. So I went out of the room and I told a couple guys and they're like, okay, crazy guy, sure. I went back in my room. I was tired. I went to bed and a few hours later I woke up and my arms and legs were actually moving on their own. And I'm sitting there in like this cosmic bliss. It's like I felt God's presence. I'll tell you, when you feel the presence of God, there's nothing else like it. It's not an emotional release. This is 10 years later, and I'm telling you the same story with the same passion. Yeah. It was just the most unbelievable, out of this world experience like you'd see in a movie. So I wrote down, because I'm like, well, I got to remember this moment. So I wrote down, and God wants me to tell people. From there, I was like, oh, who are you? I kind of thought Buddha sounded like a neat idea. I ended up meeting a Nigerian pastor, and he started talking to me about Jesus in the Bible. And even though I got touched by God, I gave him 2 hours. We argued for 2 hours how there's no way that it's Jesus in the Bible. You know, everything that you guys may believe is written by man and it's been changed, or you don't believe or whatever. There's so many reasons why, right? I gave him every one of those. I was a huge non-believer. And after the end of it, at the end of it, I was like, kind of makes sense. He put it in layman's terms that, you know, a chicken, when he's inside a coop, that chicken's getting food, he's got shelter. That chicken thinks life's pretty good. But chicken doesn't know you're going to be slaughtered at the end. He says that's what this world is with the devil. We're all chickens in it. And what happens is when you get free from that chicken coop, he says the other chickens, they don't like it, right? And the devil wants to get you back in there. Second thing that he put that made so much sense is, if you're going to break somebody free from jail, do you know that you cannot, if you have a criminal record, you cannot pay for someone's bail to get out of jail. You cannot bail someone out of jail if you have a criminal record. And Jesus is known as the only person that was sinless. Go ahead. So You cannot bail someone out of jail if you have that. So these are layman things he laid on me, right? So I started studying with him, and then one day he says to me, hey, maybe you've been baptized in the Holy Spirit, you can talk in tongues. And I said, what's that? I thought you were talking in African language. And he says, no, it says there's a place in the Bible where Jesus leaves his apostles, they're all in an upper room. And he said, don't go out, you don't have the power yet. So they're all in the upper room, they're in there, and they're praying, and then all of a sudden, like fiery tongues come down upon them, and they start talking in different languages.
Yeah.
So he says, same could happen to you, that there's baptism of water, there's a Holy Spirit baptism where Jesus actually will come and live with you, right? Yeah. So I'm at home one day and I'm praying, thank you, Jesus, for the Holy Spirit. That's awesome. This language just comes pouring out of me. It sounded Arabic. I felt like I was drunk. And still to this day, that's called, it's one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit is talking in tongues.
Millions of people do.
They do.
Okay, so
wait, can I tell a little story about Jesus or God? I've prayed to God a couple of times.
We're running late.
I've prayed to God a couple of times in my life, and I had that one of my friends who I played hockey with for a bunch of years ended up getting cancer, and it looked really, really bad. So I prayed for him, and he needed help, and the way he looked, I was like, there's no way he's gonna make it. And I prayed to God that to help him. And this is I'll tell stories that have there's no glorification, I'm not trying to make it sound better. As soon as I was done praying, there was a knock on the door, and you know who was at the door? 2 Jehovah Witnesses.
Really?
No word of a lie, not exaggerating. They were there.
That's weird.
It's really weird.
I do believe it. Yeah. There are like instances where weird things happen. So like, who am I to say, man? But anyways, Danny, so we're running a little bit late here.
Mm-hmm. Gave me up again.
And so let's just go into, tell us what happened at work and while you're on stress leave.
Okay. So, we didn't even delve into it yet, but what happened is learning all this new knowledge from out of the shadows and follow the cabal. I kind of got a little bit manic. It's some really crazy stuff. So I come to believe that it's true. You guys will all believe it's true by January. We haven't even talked about predictions yet.
Yeah.
So it was, it did have me up night and day, and I was pretty stressed out, and I was on my phone a lot of, I think you guys might have tested on Facebook. You've seen a few posts from me.
Yes. Yep.
There've been a few here or there, Jab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Right here, man. I can read you a few if you want.
No. But I meant when I first started, I think it was a few every second, right? And I didn't even know, because I didn't even know you could spam. I didn't even know what spamming was. And someone says,
That's awesome.
You're spamming me. I said, what is that? I'm like, what I'm doing is trying to give you so much information that you can't deny that it's true, right?
Yeah.
I got really manic. I was crying, and it killed me. I was pretty upset. So, but problem is at work, I'm a government employee.
Yeah.
So I'm at work, and things are pretty lax there where you can be on your phone a lot. So I continued to be on it. And I'll tell you one day, if you want to get off stress leave, this is the way you do it. Or if you don't, this is not what you want to do. So I work in a union environment, and there was some management that I had gotten to be kind of like, we've had some candid conversations with some personal conversations, right?
Yeah.
So I was breaking down. I guess I'll call it a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Mental breakdown, emotional
But you
breakdown.
believe this stuff, so it's not really a mental breakdown.
Well, it broke me to where I couldn't be at work and dealing with it. I'm like, I gotta go, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, in my good decision making, I decided, hey, I should take these 2 managers and I should tell them everything.
That's beautiful.
So if you can imagine 2 people that don't know any of this stuff we're talking. So they're hanging out, and I come up to them, I'm like, hey, can we go talk in an office? And I was explained later from the union that there's not something that they're really keen on you doing, is taking managers and talking in the office to them.
Yeah. How did that go?
Well, so I went in there, and at this. I mean, when you're breaking down.
Yeah, you're crying.
You're looking outside and you're seeing it happening.
Yeah.
And you're thinking it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
like,
you're really upset.
I know, but I'm in a room now.
Yeah.
With 2 people,
And it's
I'm
too
at
late
that,
because the tears are coming.
and I'm at that point. Do I tell these 2 people everything?
You have to now.
So I did. So I went, nobody's going to believe me, and the Satanists are running the world, and they have tunnels, and there's children in there, and it involves Hillary Clinton and Obama.
Eating babies.
Yes, definitely. And the adrenochrome.
Wow.
Drinking of the baby blood. And so I could tell when I'm thinking back when I'm doing this, that the one manager, he's a tall gentleman, he was uncomfortable with what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like pacing back and forth, and he's pulling his pants up by his belt. And he's like, oh, well, my beliefs are not quite the same as your beliefs. And then he looks over to the other manager, the female, and is like, maybe we could get him some of the assistance paper. we could help. We can't tell you what to do, but maybe you could contact these counselors.
So they know damn well you're having a breakdown.
So yeah, so when it came to
How many minutes were you in the office for?
oh god, I'm serious, it was at least 20 minutes.
So you told them everything.
Oh yeah, I mean we didn't go over JFK, but I did tell them almost pretty much everything, and no one would believe me. And then I stayed at work for a little while after that.
But you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart. Because you really believe that you want to help these. Like, what's going on?
But because we do believe the more people that know, the more that, a change could happen, right?
Yeah.
So I stayed at work for a while, and I know that so I didn't even tell you this before.
Yeah.
But so basically, what I was talking about was not very welcomed at work.
Oh, we know.
Well, yeah, you're eating a sandwich, and then I got Donny G talking about 100,000 babies being eaten. I'd be like, I'd throw that sandwich right at your head.
So I got told that I'm making some people at work feel a little weird, and I actually had a fact finding. They actually had a meeting with me again. The same manager. Same manager had a meeting and just said, we'd appreciate it if you don't talk about things like adrenochrome at work. And I said to her, I'm actually pretty surprised that you remembered it. And the manager says, well, actually, I've thought about it quite a bit.
Well, hey, man, you're halfway there on this
Exactly.
guy. Another 2 months, he'll believe in you.
More like it's haunted their sleep, I think. So quickly after that.
But tell us about the nurse. Didn't the nurse say something? One of her husbands?
One of her husbands.
Her husband.
Yeah, no. So then I after that work was just really uncomfortable, and then they brought in the masks and everything else, and I was just like, I can't do this.
You're breaking
So
down.
when I went to go on stress leave, like I said, it wasn't a hard sell.
No.
Right? Like, people are supposed to know, but I went up and I remember I talked to the scheduler, and I'm like, yeah, sorry I didn't email you back. I've been going through some stuff. And she's like, I know.
Yeah.
What?
Everybody knows.
That's what I mean. They're not supposed to know, but everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, do you hear what Donny G is talking about down there?
Oh man! So then I ended up getting counseling, and God's so good that the first person I talked to, she listens to me, right, and I'm telling her all this stuff. She's like, my husband thinks the exact same way. I'm not shitting you.
Did she roll her eyes at you when she said that?
Well, of course, because of COVID, you can't meet in person, right?
Yeah. So you're on Zoom?
No, it wasn't even Zoom. It was just on the phone. It was just on the phone. But it's just funny. She said, "Yeah, my husband believes the exact same thing."
Fuck, that's
and
beautiful.
so then so then it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
She's like, and I'm
here. Let me put him on the phone.
And she's like, so, and I asked her, and she's like, well, I know some of it, but she didn't say didn't believe it or whatever. She kind of like just asked me more questions like, why do you think some people believe and some people don't? And I think it's as simple as this. I find in this journey so far with the people that are truthers and the people that I'm protesting with, people who believe in God have an easier time with this because they already believe in Satan. And when I started thinking about this and talking to other pastors, and they're like, well, the gospel always has to be about Jesus Christ, and you don't talk about Satan, talk about Jesus. And I said, you know what? I believe the Spirit told me that Jesus said that the world doesn't know me anymore, but the world knows who Satan is. And once the world finds out what Satan's been doing and how horrible, and again, so you don't believe in Satan, but if you find out that there's a whole bunch of powerful people that have been doing all the stuff I'm talking about, and they believe in Satan, and that's who they're doing all this stuff to, and you maybe have never read the Bible, what's the opposite of Satan? Is Jesus, right? So it just kind of goes there. You got to pick a side, man.
Well, like where the fuck is Jesus in all this battle of good and evil? He's not around.
First of all, don't say fucking Jesus in the same sentence, please.
Fucking Jesus. Where the fuck is Jesus?
Okay.
Where is he?
Am I allowed to go over there and beat him up?
No, but seriously, where is he in this battle of good and evil, though?
He's
Just
here.
as long as you're not
Yeah, but
pounding
here
on the
he's
table.
not.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything remarkable to save children.
You're
Right?
breathing right now, right? Did you wake up today? There's millions of people that did not wake up today. I would say millions, a little heavy. I'd say thousands. But you woke up today. And when's the last time you plugged your lungs in?
What the fuck do you mean plug my lungs in?
Well, you continue to breathe. Your heart continues to beat. And your lungs continue to
it's
work.
typical that you
Why?
beat around the bush about that.
I just answered your
Like,
question.
what the fuck?
I just gave you
You-
the greatest miracle.
You're talking about all these thousands, hundreds of thousands of kids go missing a year, get chopped up and put into fucking McDonald's
yes,
food,
yes,
right?
yes.
Where the fuck is God to save those kids? If Satan can just take them like that, where the fuck is God to save those children, Dan?
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to have this is your best answer. God got asked to leave decades ago when they took him out of the school, when they took him out of the government, when they started cutting down the churches and doing everything else. God has been asked to leave the world before you were born even, man. Before you were born, God was told, we don't want you anymore. We want to live our sinful ways. Like, for example, people dying in car accidents. God didn't create cars, man did. Right? It doesn't say in the Bible, do that. So a lot of things would happen on this earth.
Yeah, but according to you, God created man.
Right.
So therefore, in a roundabout and ass-backward way, God did create cars.
In an ass-backward way, sure.
Yeah.
But hold on. Man was supposed to follow the Bible, supposed to follow God's word. I don't see any cars in the Bible.
Okay, well, that's fine.
So anything outside of that is our own volition, is our own will, right? So you got the will of mankind and you have the will of God.
Okay, the will of God and like God being up there in fucking heaven and whatever.
Yeah.
He's just looking down on the earth going, they just hit the 300,000 mark for the
kids.
For the kids
Yes,
gone missing just for the
yes,
year,
yes.
and he's okay with that?
No,
that
he's not.
fucking guy is okay
No,
with
he's
that.
not.
Well, then what the fuck's he gonna do?
that's-
Send down some archangels to fucking
Well, actually,
even shit out?
that is in Revelations that does happen. But yes, you're exactly right. That is the enigma of God, is that he's such a good God, and he knows everything that's going to happen, but yet it still happens. So I guess that's a question you have to ask God. You have to say, why did you allow all this bad stuff to happen? And he's going to say, I believe that I had a plan in place, but men's wicked heart and their self-will and their ego ruined that plan.
Wow, that's all you got. That's all you got. So for
Well, I'm not
thousands
God,
and thousands and millions of years, whatever,
Yes.
however long the fucking earth has been around for. Sorry about my ignorance towards that, but when if I go up there and I meet God,
Yes.
that's the answer he's gonna give me.
No, buddy, I can't. You
yeah,
can't,
but I
you
mean,
can't
like,
comprehend
I
God.
know.
That's how great He is. You can't, dude.
Oh, Jesus
go on.
Christ, but hold
Go
on.
God and Jesus Christ.
No,
He is
I'm
a being-
saying Jesus fucking Christ.
He
Like,
is a,
what
he
you're
is
saying
a,
is
He is
ridiculous.
a person that can speak to 8 billion people at the same time. What kind of being can talk to 8 billion people? What kind of being can just say something and the world comes into motion? I mean, there's no fathoming how they think or their plan or what they do.
Well, I'm one of those 8 billion, and he's never talked to me, not once.
You're still alive, brother.
Yeah, but
Other people aren't.
other people aren't.
So that's what I mean. There's still hope for you. You're still breathing.
Oh wow, okay, well, if you put it that way.
I am putting it that way.
But I just don't understand how like he can sit up there and, you know, like some fucking, some rapist or some fucking Catholic priest diddles a little boy and steals his innocence, that prick up there is okay with that.
He's not okay with that.
Well, then strike that guy down with lightning and fucking blast him, like blow him up.
That's what's coming. I swear to God.
Like, do it now.
Yes, his vengeance is coming now.
Like, fuck, man, it's ridiculous.
I don't know that I believe in a God. I mean, I believe there is something that created what we are. I haven't seen what I would think would be God yet, but I mean, everything kind of works.
The intelligent design, it's hard to look past. I mean, you look at your eyes, the million receptors it takes just for your eyes to come together. I mean, it's pretty. Or the fact, I mean, you look at things like shit. He even found a usefulness for shit. It turns into manure.
Well, it's like everything.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Everything about you has to continually work to be able to work, and I have no idea how it works or how it was made. I mean,
well, like I said to Rob, your lungs and your heart continue to beat, but you don't charge into a plug into a battery.
Did God create all man equal?
Did God create all man equal? I know that we say that, but I don't actually know if that's in the Bible or not. I don't know.
But Christians and God-loving people all say that.
Well,
then why are people born with defects and some people are not? Maybe I'm one of the genetically, more powerful than most people.
Okay.
That's why I'm fucking breathing. Maybe it has nothing to do with God. Maybe it had a lot to do with science or something like that and evolution. But I mean, the fact that you can't say it, like, if God did create all men equal, it's a bunch of bullshit because everybody on this planet is running around not treated as an equal.
That's men treating other men on doing that though. God's saying you're supposed to treat everybody with love and treat everybody the same and compassion, but people don't when it comes to people with physical or mental handicaps or stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but you should be born equal then. Right out of the gate, you should be born equal. You shouldn't be born with a fucking defect.
If you were born and you were forced to follow God, you'd be like a robot. Like if you had no choice, that's not much of a life, right? If you're being made, he doesn't want to make you. He wants you to want to come to him, right? Just like if you have a girl and you're stalking her, you can't make her love you. She's got to love you, right? So God loved me the way I was, broken down, cokehead, right?
Yeah,
and everything I've done, right?
I believe you when you say that, and that's your story, and I think that's wonderful.
If you want to put those two together, stalking a girl and God,
yeah,
not good, but...
I just like
I'm just talking about love is what I meant there.
I can't get on board with it when he watches this world go to shit, but like fucking
okay.
The devil's got all his disciples around here just raping, pillaging, and murdering, and fucking God does shit. He puts these people in charge of these fucking churches, and then these people take advantage of little boys and little girls or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Because how long ago did the world ask him to leave, Rob?
Yeah, but it's time for that motherfucker to take a step in now.
That's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Trump
really?
And all this stuff is now. Yes, this is called the Great Awakening.
So
this is what's happening.
So Trump
now.
is the second coming of Christ, is what you're saying?
No.
Well, then what the fuck does Trump have to do with it?
Trump is the man used by God. Well, Trump is the guy who was the insider, who gave a lot of inside knowledge to the feds about all this stuff. He saw the satanic stuff. He saw the children, and he decided to do something about it. He's a billionaire that had everything, and he ran and put him and his family in grave danger, and the onslaught of hate and that has never been seen before. We're at this. I believe this is right now is the greatest moment in human history since the resurrection. Donald Trump originally is here to drain the swamp. He's here to expose all the evil people. Before I believed in God, I used to say, how can there be a God when this world is such a shithole? Like what you were kind of just saying a few minutes ago, right? How can there be a God when all these babies are being raped, all this stuff's happening? It's because it says the God of this earth is Satan. Now, the question for God, I think from you, Rob, would be when you see him, why did you let Satan come down and do this to all mankind? How, if you're a loving God, did you allow that to happen? And that's a question only he can answer.
Yeah.
Right? All I can tell you is I know from... Nobody can say, I was brainwashed, or I was in a cult, or I was this, or I was that. I had an actual personal encounter with God, and then I'm filled with the Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ lives in me. And you're not perfect when he finds you, but he loves you too much to leave you that way.
Okay, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, sure. It's
right. So,
I guess that's your opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, anybody that lets any god or whatever, like that guy up there, he's a piece of shit for letting shit happen to kids like that, man. For not even striking like these fucking like just intervene one little bit, like this
I'm
fucking.
sure he does.
Who's this? Who
I'm
was
sure
the
he
guy
does.
that owned Pedo Island?
Epstein.
Epstein. Why not just go? You want to know something? He's driving his Maserati too fast. Just blow out a tire. Let him flip and tumble and dead.
So then he'd have to kill him.
Why not?
He's gone.
Why not? Why not?
Because
Why?
you know what?
Why not kill one
even
to save
Epstein?
millions?
Did you know that even a guy could rape 30 babies, be the worst person in the world, and before he dies, if he asked Christ to accept him, Christ would.
No, he's a.
That's called
he's a-
unconditional love. It's not based on what you do. So I'm going to leave the part about Jesus, but when you talk about created all men equal,
Yeah.
it's this part here. It says that we are saved through faith in grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. So it's about him, not about you, which means it doesn't matter if you could pray more than me, if you got more money more than me, you could sing better than me. It doesn't matter what. Any one of us have the same chance of going to heaven. Everyone in this entire world can go to heaven because it's not about you, it's about Jesus. So
you can run around for 30, 40 years, be a complete piece of shit, kill, rape, fucking do nasty things, and then at the end of it go, Jesus.
Has to be a sincere heart, though. You can't just bullshit.
That
God,
like you're at the
God
river
knows
of
your
Hades
heart
or something.
God knows your heart, but
fuck.
you can.
See, that's the problem I have with the fucking church and the Bible, but I'm just being honest. I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep
please
it real.
do. Don't bother me.
Yeah. So anyways, okay, Dano.
So,
This is not the end. This is just the end of part
I would
one.
like to say this is probably like a 17 or 18 hour podcast.
This is just the end of part one.
Am I
Because
finishing with
we haven't even got into
predictions, or are we going to
everything
get into
Yeah,
that
let's do the
part too?
prediction. Here's the prediction. What I want to tell you right now is I love you. I think you're awesome. You've always been cool, funny. But if JFK Jr. does not come to life on the 17th or the 18th,
life,
17th or
17th. No, 18th. 17th.
Okay, I want you to just like back off a little bit and not be so gullible.
I cannot back off. But what I will do, is I'll come on. What do you want, a public apology, or
No,
you want me to admit that I was wrong?
No,
I have no problem with that.
No, you have to base jump off the 48th floor of the Civic Hotel.
48th floor.
So yeah, you led into it. My prediction.
So 17th, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna have a fucking
Yes.
a podcast
What
marathon.
day is that?
For the
I'll
food
Pull it up.
I'll find out right now.
podcast marathon for
Didn't
the
you
for
already
the
know what day that is?
for the food for the food bank. How's that? Is that
Saturday?
cool?
Saturday?
We'll raise. What do you
Yeah,
think,
it's a
Warren?
Saturday, yeah.
We'll raise money. We'll have a podcast marathon where we'll do like 7, 8
shit, that's a
podcasts,
Saturday.
and we'll wait for fucking John F. K. or whatever to show
what we
up.
need to do, he's going
in
to
the
show
media.
up because Donald Trump is in Dallas where JFK was killed
Wow.
on that day.
Yeah.
And that is the 17th day of the month, and that is 17 days before the election.
So you're within 100. Like
there's so many 17s.
so, it's
too
happening.
much.
It's happening.
Yes.
That'll be good. We'll raise and at worst, Dano will have to apologize to all of us for.
Now, for you guys, if
But-
JFK, I want a question to each one. You ready? Get yourselves ready. He's coming out guaranteed October.
you're the best,
7th.
Dan.
Where did you get this information from?
Originally from David Robert Steele.
I
And
don't
David
know which guy
Robert
that is.
Steele
Hey, it
is
doesn't
a
sound
former-
like Finkelstein,
Yeah, I
so
know.
I'll believe him. Rabbi
He's a
Finkelstein.
former CIA director,
Oh boy.
and he has a YouTube channel right now. So on that
Something
note,
you're gonna have soon, right?
Yes, yes, for sure.
Dano,
Let me tell-
conspiracy with Donny G.
everybody listening to this.
Yeah.
YouTube is not just a kid in his basement now, right? If you have something you want the world to hear,
Yeah.
and you think it's important, we're talking professionals. We're talking like lawyers and doctors and politicians and journalists and scientists, whoever. These people are using
They got a
YouTube.
platform. Yeah.
They're using YouTube. They're using BitChute. They're making documentaries. So why would somebody be telling us all this stuff about Donald Trump and all this stuff about the children and all this stuff if it wasn't true? What's the point?
Well,
To
I
get likes and
follow that
shares and to
one.
get
Because
money
they're
off
making
your
money.
How
videos.
does likes and shares going to
I
do
do
for you,
follow
right?
that one that you have on there, that lady that that goes over the executions and the arrests, and I don't
shit.
Alice
quite.
down the rabbit hole.
I don't
Okay,
qui-
we're
I
gonna
don't
have
get
to wrap
that.
it up here, guys. I don't mean to cut it
But
short.
we're gonna get back here and do this again. This is not by
so
all means not the end,
we're
because I have
definitely-
some shit I have to ask you that I
Yeah,
never got
please
around
do.
to
There's a
asking.
lot.
you.
There's a whole. There's more than.
Unless you want to stick around
There's
for
so
an
much
hour and a
stuff.
half.
There's
stick
so much
around.
stuff.
You want to
to-
stick around for an hour
Sure.
or so? You
So
just
much
be
stuff.
quiet. You got to be really quiet.
Gotta be real
I
quiet,
want to
man.
go get something to eat.
Okay,
All
so
right, yep.
okay, cool. So Dan's gonna come back up here. This is great. Hey Dan, I'm sorry for laughing so much. That's just, I was.
Did you picture me in the meeting again? Is that what you're laughing about?
I do. And he pulls the guys into the office because he's going through the rabbit hole. Hillary Clinton eating hundreds of thousands of babies, and he pulls the guys in, and he's like already breaking
gonna
down.
believe me,
He's already having a breakdown, so he's like, "Well, I might as well go through with everything." So he continues to tell them for like 15 minutes about how they're eating babies, they're killing people.
Adrenochrome and the tunnels.
And he told them everything, and they're like, the guy's like getting uncomfortable. He's like doing up his belt. He's like, "Well, Dan, I don't really
Your
believe
beliefs are not my beliefs. Well, your beliefs are not my beliefs.
we're gonna get you some mental health here." So he's on stress leave. Awesome. You're the best.
Okay.
Rob's getting ready with all his questions over there. Look at, he's got his phone up, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're fucking awesome.
I don't think, did we start?
Check,
Okay.
baby. 1, 2, 3. Okay, come on, Marco. Let's rock and roll this shit.
Okay, here we are up in studio. Crazy fucking windy day. We're here with Roberto Terryberry. And we got Conspiracy Dano. No, hold on. Conspiracy with Donny G.
Donny G's conspiracy.
Donny G's Conspiracy. Okay. So let's... How do we say this? Like, let's just take off from where we left off, I guess.
Right. So I was making predictions. I think that's the
Yeah.
part most
Yeah.
important,
Yeah.
right? What I
Yeah.
thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
First is October 17th. JFK is going to make an appearance. And he's going to become Donald Trump's running mate. And if you go onto Amazon right now, other places, you could find that's already listed.
They're selling the shirts.
Yeah, they're selling the shirts already. You're in some trouble over there, bud.
Okay. Okay. I will base jump off this patio.
Yeah.
So here, let's do this. On the 17th, let's all get together and we'll do like a marathon podcast.
And we'll find out when the Trump speeches, because that's when
Yeah,
he
yeah.
would come out, is
Yeah,
when,
yeah.
the thing's on, right?
So we'll do a marathon podcast. We'll raise some money for, like, say, the Surrey Food Bank. So at worst, they're gonna get something out of it.
Yes.
And you're gonna watch me fly off the patio with my Quebec Nordiques flag that I got out of like a Molson Canadian case 27 years ago.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds really good.
Okay, Robbie, what are you gonna do?
No comment.
Oh fuck, this is too funny, man.
All right, but Dan, seriously, go on with your predictions because I can't wait to hear this shit.
Okay, well, I was just we got that happening. Trump's going to win in a Trump slide. We're going to call it, right.
Yeah.
And then after that, the indictments are going to come fast and furious.
Yeah, but those indictments were supposed to be coming already. Like,
Oh, they are.
yeah, I
buddy.
know, but like,
36 of them have already been subpoenaed in the Obama. So you like the subpoenas in the Obama administration for them lying about the Russian collusion.
yeah.
Joe Biden, Uranium One, crimes against humanity, and sometime in January they're going to come out with, most of them have been arrested and executed already. Like Obama is dead, Hillary Clinton is dead.
Like they're dead?
Dead. Yes.
They've already been executed.
And the best part was that Obama cried like a little bitch and he turned over on Big Mike. And for anyone who doesn't know, Big Mike is a.k.a. Michelle Obama.
Yes.
She has a
yes.
huge penis.
Oh, fuck.
She, whatever the hell it is.
Do
so,
you-
so
but-
they've already been in Gitmo, and what they did was,
But do you believe this for real?
absolutely not.
Is that why you're on stress leave?
Yes,
But you actually think fucking Obama's dead?
absolutely.
And Hillary Clinton?
October 17th, they were both arrested, 2017.
They were both arrested and killed in 2017.
Well, they were arrested, and
Yeah.
then they had to give their confessions on tape, and it was done on analog tape, so it couldn't be fucked with digitally. And what you're going to have is you're going to have 7 announcements from the president. And there will be a time when the mainstream media, TV, everything will be shut down, and over your phones will become an emergency broadcast system, along with it being put on the television, and it'll be played for 10 days. It's known as 10 Days of Darkness.
10 days of Big Mike.
Yeah, 10 Days of Big Mike with all their confessions.
Wow.
I'll tell you. So that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
And right after that.
No, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I think you're awesome. You've been nothing but funny, cool.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't happen, can you please come with us and we'll just go down to the fucking beach?
Yes.
We'll crack some beers.
Yes.
And can we at least talk you out of some of this nonsense?
Yes, absolutely. That's a
Okay.
date.
All right.
Because I heard January 26th. So let's just say by February 1st.
Okay, February 1st.
If February 1st,
If none of this shit
comes out,
you'll know you got
then
hoodwinked.
then I'm done.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Hoodwinked?
I would be hoodwinked at that point.
Oh, fuck, you're too much, man.
I'll take that. February 1st, we all got that?
Swear to God, though.
Oh, yeah. I swear to Jesus. See
And
this?
then you'll get off this crazy
Yes.
fucking train.
So that's when Big Mike's going to put out the tapes.
No, Big
It's
Mike-
January 1st?
Big
February
Mike
1st?
is dead. Big
Oh,
Mike's
along with Obama.
Obama's
And
along
Tom
with Hillary.
Hanks and Rita Wilson.
Yeah,
and
what
Lady
it-
Gaga.
What did Tom Hanks do?
Oh, he
Anybody?
was the worst. He was known as Tom the Hitman Hanks.
Really, Dad?
Yeah.
Tom the Hitman Hanks?
Tom the Hitman Hanks. He was in part of a thuggy group.
So he was killing people.
Oh, he was the worst for it. Yeah, he was one of. Yeah, and if you look on his Instagram, although I believe a lot of it's been deleted now, he'd have pictures of just gloves and pictures of shoes and
Yeah,
these
bottle
random
caps.
things. Yeah.
Whatever.
He's
That's
All
artistic.
this random stuff.
So
they're-
why did he get killed, though?
why did he get killed?
Because he's a hitman?
Because he was one of the worst satanic bastards out there. Yeah, he was like the top.
Okay,
of
but
Hollywood.
what are you going to do if I pull up a picture of Tom Hanks now? You're going to tell me it was crafted and it's
Because
on his
it's
social...
CGI, could be clone, could be body double. Yep, there's deep fakes. Rob, what they could do with television, brother, it's sick, dude. They could, if they got your voice and they got your image,
It is pretty
they could
crazy.
have you say and do anything, and it looks like you.
Even Joe
Where-
Rogan's touching on that.
I know,
with
but
the
where
AI.
did-
They
Yes.
could take that and have
Yes,
you
for
saying
sure.
like
Anything.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
It's
where
insane.
where did you get this information from that all these people are dead? And how come I'm just hearing about it if they died in 2017 or 2018?
from Big Mike.
I didn't hear that. So
Like, what the fuck?
Here's what happened, okay? So we believe that the lockdowns that happened originally back in March were not about COVID.
Yeah.
We believe that was for a
Smokescreen.
military operation for the U.S. to go and deal with the tunnels, the children. And you know what? It's a lot easier to catch powerful people and celebrities when they're locked down. A global lockdown made it possible to catch the people that could normally get away. Right? So there is video with Ellen with an ankle monitor, Oprah with an ankle monitor.
I saw these ankle monitor
Yes.
pictures. It looked like their jeans were just like scrunched up at the bottom. Like how it looks like I'm wearing a fucking ankle bracelet for fuck's sakes, but I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the
No,
thing
but,
about
I mean, what the fuck?
Oprah,
So-
when you bring Oprah into shit like this, it fucking pisses me off because I really do love Oprah.
You know, well, you've heard about John of God, right? That she was promoting?
No.
He has been.
Yeah, a little bit, just from what
It's
you
not a
guys
little bit.
were-
The guy is been caught for being a huge human child sex trafficker.
Yeah.
He used to have girls chained up just to make babies so that he could sell them for organs because there'd be no birth certificates and shit like that. This is the main guy that Oprah was promoting. And you take a look, Oprah, guess who her best buddy is? Harvey Weinstein. You tell me what Harvey Weinstein is.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Guys like the Harvey Weinstein, they went out there to they would throw little fucking galas and have
Yeah.
people, parties and stuff.
Yes.
So they would get these high, powerful celebrities to
Yes.
come to these events.
Yes.
They would fit the bill. They would pay them sometimes $50,000 to make an appearance, sometimes maybe $100,000 because he's got money. You know, guys like that. So to say that Harvey Weinstein is a best friend of Oprah, the only thing Oprah didn't do, and this is the truth, is those rumors that they were hearing for years, like sometimes 10, 15 years, about how Harvey Weinstein was a goof and a creep.
Yeah, pushing off on girls and stuff. Yeah.
The only thing Oprah didn't do was say, hey, you know what? I'll turn down your invitation because you're a fucking dickhead. And that's the only thing that Oprah didn't do. She didn't condone this fucking guy. She doesn't like this guy.
She did. They're good friends. And Oprah's school for girls, it was a sex trafficking ring.
No, that's not true. What happened there?
True.
What happened there was a couple fucking weirdos that needed jobs in that area. Just like how people get into the church and like become pastors and stuff. Why? Or coaches, because it's easy access to kids.
Yes. Pedophiles.
That's the same fucking thing that happened to Oprah.
Okay.
Oprah would not condone something like that. Like, it's not even.
So this is going to be a tough one for you, eh?
No,
she's one of the big ones, because here's what I learned. Remember I was saying about how satanics people have gone to the top of government, top of this, top of that. They also did it in the entertainment business. And you heard that, they kind of like jokes, the devil went down to Georgia, sell your soul to the devil, to get. And Lady Gaga in her memoirs actually said that she did sell her soul to the devil for fame and fortune. So I listened to some pretty credible stuff. Guys talking about something called getting gravy. Yeah. And basically nobody.
Take it away, man.
I like his laugh.
You sound. You sound. Oh, it's horrible.
It's a funny laugh.
Turn away.
But Dad, Lady Gaga fucking just released a record. So is she dead or what?
Yeah, the record was made before.
Holy fuck.
So listen.
Okay, I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out.
Katy Perry started off all nice and sweet, and then she ends up like all demonic. There comes a time in an entertainer, whether it's music or acting, will get approached by some executives and get brought in a room and be told, okay, this is it, man. This is it. You are going to become big time, because they don't want anybody to become rich and powerful that they can't control, right?
Yeah.
You guys know about MK Ultra?
No.
About their handlers and
Tell
that?
us.
Man. So like Britney Spears, she went a little nuts, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes that happens to them, but nobody gets to be the top powerful person from Will Smith or anyone else. They don't allow you to get that ultimate fame and fortune unless you play in their game, right? Unless you join their club.
Yeah.
And to join their club, getting gravy means you get drilled in the ass. That means you're in this room, and these executives will make you either give head to some guy, or you'll get effed in the ass, and they tape it so that they can blackmail you if need be. And if you want to say, fuck this shit, I'm going to do this and that, they'll just take the money away. Like every one of them before they get there, Oprah, Ellen, everybody had to join that club.
So you're telling me Ellen took it in the butt?
Yes.
And so did Oprah.
Yes.
Oh boy. Wow.
Fuck, I don't know how. Who's telling you this shit?
It's Finkelstein.
Is it Finkelstein?
It's gotta be Finkelstein.
So I don't believe everything I see.
No, yeah. So you don't believe that, though?
I do believe that, but time travel I don't believe in. Okay. And then here's the next big thing. This is a huge prediction, and I want you guys to definitely understand this one here. Aliens and alien technology. Yeah. They've already they've had anti-gravity since like the 40s. So they've been able to have UFO type ships be seen here and there to make everyone think, oh, there's aliens.
So there's no aliens.
There's no aliens.
But
they really believe. I was listening to this David Robert Steele, who's the CIA director, and that seriously talking with a woman about them doing off-planet human slaves, and that there is reptilians and all these other alien species that have been living with us since the Egyptian times, and that the Rothschilds and all these elite families, saying basically they're not Satanists, they're actually aliens. And they're going to come out with this alien technology, and they're going to come out with some very convincing things, but it's not. It's demonics. It's demonic. The demons.
So it all goes back to demons.
Yes, because the Bible tells us that 1/3 of the angels fell. So that's
if you weren't a Christian and didn't believe in the Bible, would you believe all this other nonsense?
Probably not.
Okay, so it's all connected to you believe in the Bible.
And I find that most of the people that I'm doing these protests with are people that I've met, the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
Most of them do believe in God. A real good major chunk. It's got to be high 80s or 90% of them.
So do you think?
And I think that's easier. That's why they believe, Marco.
Because, well, let's just get one thing straight.
Yes.
Humans are fucking assholes. Like, there's crazy shit going on for forever.
Yeah.
Millions of kids go missing.
But kids just don't go missing, right? We have this technology and GP. Kids just don't go missing. Why can't we find these kids? Right? It kind of seems like there's a big elite pedophile ring that's doing it.
Yeah, but so is it Hillary Clinton?
She's one of the main ones in it. Yeah, brother.
But you just said she was fucking dead.
Yes, she is.
So how could she still be the main one if she's dead?
Well, we're talking about this as a whole. I'm not saying it's like this very moment Hillary Clinton is. But we're talking about the deep state cabal. Okay, you have some questions. Go ahead.
I do, man.
Okay.
Like, I got, okay, you've been, since this whole Corona thing.
Fake pandemic started, yep.
I got a few things for you.
Yeah. Just speak in the mic, boys.
I will. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now I feel really sure that the Rodney King beating was done by a bunch of CIA operatives and
Yes.
crisis actors.
Yes.
Do you truly believe that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, check mark.
Yep.
One.
If this Floyd thing is not emotional manipulation, then why did you get mad at me for just questioning the authenticity of the video?
That was me asking you that question, right?
No, this is what you put on Facebook. Like, I guess you're asking everybody.
Yeah, I basically
But
saying, yeah.
you think that, so you don't think that
I know for
he
sure
died?
he didn't die.
That Floyd didn't die.
Yes, I mean, it's
But
so
Dan,
easy.
Do you find that disrespectful to the families that are grieving?
But they're not really grieving.
They are so, man. How the fuck can you say that?
I'm gonna
You're just
jump
going,
off this
You're just
fucking
going by.
patio.
You're just going off what
Okay, so hold on, whoa,
what your
whoa.
source is telling you.
Nope.
What your source is telling you. This
Oh,
fucking person really died.
Finkelstein.
Finkelstein's
You ready?
telling you.
Are you ready for a serious answer or not over here?
Yes, for sure I am.
Okay. So we had a white guy kneel on a black guy's neck for 8 minutes straight in broad daylight while people filmed, and then it would get put on the national media, right? That seems really convenient when COVID was starting to go down and lose its vigor and lose its control on everybody. Let's play the race card next. Those would have to be two of the stupidest cops in the entire world that would do that. There are dirty cops that do that, but they don't do it in broad daylight. So you had a couple people that were filming that, okay? Then later, when I'm looking at those camera angles, and there's a guy on Twitter who was a video editor.
Plus, you worked in film.
Right. And so he had these different camera angles, and he says, look at this. When you have somebody, this girl walks up, the main angle where she walked up and she's filming by the front of the car, get off his neck, leave him alone. There was somebody else filming from over here, from across the street. And when you're looking in the camera view of the person across the street, the person that was supposed to be filming there is not there anymore. That's called a continuity error or a blooper.
Yeah, I think I'm a continuity cop, and I think I should watch that because.
I would. Hey, this would be wonderful. I have 15 different videos
Yep.
of that compiled in one place. If I send it to you, you have to have a look at it seriously, and then next time we get together, we can talk again.
Let's just for shits and giggles here say that it really did happen.
Okay.
Right? And it really did happen, and he died at the hands of that cop and the other police that were involved in whatever.
Yeah.
You actually don't think if it actually really did happen, you don't think by what you're posting, by saying shit like that is not affecting his family?
Exactly. See, you nailed it.
It's affecting his family.
It right on the head.
So
Guess
why the
what?
fuck would you post
Guess
it
what?
then?
You nailed it right on the head. I would not have said that if I wasn't absolutely sure beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Wow. Okay.
Well, doesn't that make sense? You just answered your question.
Yes, no, okay,
what kind
I
of
get it.
fucking asshole
What kind
would
of
say
fucking-
something like that? That would be terrible. If family members would feel like shit.
Yeah, but how come
Right?
you why'd you have to post it? Why couldn't you just keep it to yourself though? That comment, just in case it is real.
That's how sure I am.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I can't
Because-
argue with that. Fuck, man.
Because the real George, that guy is Alex O'Toole, and he's a 33-degree Mason. He worked at the club with the guy who was kneeling on the neck. And I showed you guys those pictures. I don't know how your eyes don't work like mine work, but the cop that was kneeling on him and the cop that they said they charged. And by the way, where'd that go? I haven't heard that cop got charged in the George Floyd murder. Where'd that case go? Just kind of disappeared, right? Because it's not fucking real. That's why
that's
it
what the media
disappeared.
does. They jump on something, then it disappears. But it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Well, you kind of answered my question too. Are you leaning to what I'm saying? I'm saying all this stuff is happening, but the media is not telling us, right?
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. I just, it's tough for me to,
Yeah, I understand.
you know.
Next question.
Yeah.
This is something you posted. Story of the century: celebrity demons feeding on our children in dumbs beneath our country is no joke.
Did I put that as like a status update?
Sure did there, Tiger.
Story of the century.
Your phone went.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's going.
No, I see it. Okay, so is that a question or
No, I just want to know. I want to know what your mind was thinking here. Like, what's the feeding on the children in dumbs? What are dumbs?
you don't tell him?
I have no idea, man.
Like dumb? Like being dumb?
Deep
Dooms?
underground military bases.
Okay.
Holy
So
fuck!
did- oh.
Dumbs. Shit.
Why
Wow.
didn't we know that?
Why didn't I fucking think of that?
Yeah.
Never heard of that? Being
Never
called
heard
the
of that.
Dumb, deep underground military bases.
Wow.
Okay, so just
thought you were half-
let's just get one thing straight here. Let's get one thing straight.
Yes.
If all this stuff doesn't start happening, because you've been saying indictments and this, and this for 2 years, and nothing.
2 years. You're hilarious,
Well,
buddy.
at least
I
a
started.
year.
No, you're wrong. I started COVID. COVID happened, and I came into this about
8 months
March,
ago?
April. No, about April. So we got April, May, June, July, August, September. It's only been 6 months,
That's
bro.
it?
Yeah.
Our phones have been blown up for only 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah, but here, Dan, this
No,
is
hold on a sec here. I want to finish this. So 1,000%.
Yes.
This stuff doesn't start happening here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go grab a.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I know
20
you're
24
concerned
pack.
about
No,
me.
I'm concerned
but
about
it's-
your wellness.
It's boom week. There's some stuff coming down right now.
Okay, what's happening in Boom Week?
Well, the Senate today
Oh,
heard testimony about Joe Biden being involved.
Hold on a sec.
Joe
Joe
Biden, is in
Biden
trouble.
is a fucking creepy dude.
He
Like,
sniffs. He loves sniffing women. Yeah.
No, kids and
You ready
shit.
for
It's
this one?
weird.
That's
That's
not Joe
weird.
Biden either. He's also a clone. So is Nancy Pencillotti or whatever her fucking
Oh
name
boy.
is. Go ahead, Rob.
I don't know what to do.
All right, man. This is where you actually really lost me here, Dan. Okay, ready?
You
Really?
didn't lose you on anything else? Holy fuck.
No, because
We
I
got
was
a converter
no,
over here.
I always gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I always wanted to ask him this. But when I saw this one, I was like, okay, once you give your life to Satan, who controls everyone, because we don't believe in him, once a month you get a black envelope,
Yes.
and you would have to go somewhere and do some absolutely degrading thing to yourself.
Yeah.
What the fuck
a
is that?
Fucking bastard. So once you have given your life to Satan, you become that top Hollywood star.
He owns
you
you.
become this. He owns you. And once a month, I heard you would get a black envelope and you'd have to go somewhere and do some really extreme shit. And the more extreme, the better you are in Satan's books, whether you're eating shit or doing something terrible. And you guys have heard of the Black Eye Club, right?
No.
Oh, man. Yeah, all these guys, George Bush, the Pope, all these people, all these black eyes just kind of weirdly out of nowhere.
I did see something.
And that has to do with that as well.
So you don't
About
think that
hurting
that
yourself.
could be like makeup under their eyes, or
Nope.
someone
So
putting some CGI
you can't
shit on
Photoshop
it?
that stuff?
You
You
could.
can't? Yeah,
sure.
you could. So do you think Finkelstein's photoshopping all these things?
No,
It's called the Black Eye
Finkelstein's
Black Eye Club?
real.
No,
Yeah.
Finkelstein is real, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I think he's like the man behind it all. to be honest with you. Like fuck.
But is he rabbi?
So, you've asked me a few times who tells me this shit or how do I do it?
Yeah.
Because as
you-
rabbit hole goes,
Yeah.
leads to one video to another video,
Yeah.
and as I watch them, me and the spirit just kind of getting together and we're watching it, and,
And
either
then you
either
decide
believe
if
it or
that's
don't believe it.
believable or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck, I'm really worried about you, man. Not in a bad way, though.
I know,
Like,
but
I mean-
I'm worried for all you guys.
okay.
Because you see, I am getting this red pill slowly, and I'm trying to wake you guys up. But for you guys that don't believe and you got that mental block and you won't let it happen, you're going to have like an emergency broadcast enema that's going to shock the fuck out of you.
So when's this?
I mean, I was saying, I think mid-January.
Okay, mid-January.
I don't know why it's so long. I tell you, us patriots here, we are frustrated.
And there's just how many out there? Like, how many of you guys are out there?
Oh man,
Is it millions?
Yeah, I think so.
You guys are growing.
It's hard to tell because the media won't show it, right? Where media will say, "Oh, a Trump rally, and there was a couple thousand people there," right? And then I can go on to Twitter, and someone goes, "Here's the lineup for the Trump rally," and it goes like
3 people.
He goes,
No, like hundreds of thousands.
dude, farther than I can see. It's insane. The silent majority, and the reason that they let these riots have been going on for like 60 days now or something like that.
More.
It's
120.
insane.
Yeah.
But what's happening is it's happening in the Democratic states. And Trump, what he's doing is now, because what happened is America is actually a corporation and that each state is its own corporation. Although he's the president, he cannot force them, or if he did, they would say it's Trump's fault, right?
Yeah.
So in the Democratic states, he said, if you want me and the National Guard to come in and take care of shit, we can do that, no problem, like they did in Chaz,
Yeah,
right?
he did
in
say
Seattle.
that. Yeah.
But they don't want his help. These guys are telling their own police force, stand down, and bad stuff's happening. So, I think we're pretty good. What do you think, guys?
Holy fuck.
No, but do you have any other predictions though? Like that's just your predictions, JFK and 10 days of blackout on television?
We had JFK. You have Trump winning the election by a complete landslide. Oh, and then you also have Nessera.
When
What's
is the
Nessera?
election anyways? Is it in
November
November?
3rd.
So November
17
3rd.
days after October 17th.
So hasn't he already had to pick his running mate?
Man, you know what? Biden's not even going to be the one. I don't know how they can do this in the States. I don't know their laws that well. But I know that Biden's not going to be the actual one running. It might be Kamala or somebody else. Big Mike might show up.
But you just said Big Mike was dead.
Her clone.
Oh, fuck, no, her clone. Mm-hmm. So Obama has a clone out there too?
Yes.
And Ellen DeGeneres and all them?
No, Ellen's still alive.
Ellen's still alive for now.
Yeah.
Right? Fuck, man.
Have you seen her too? Seen any pictures of people with adrenochrome withdrawal? All these celebrities, like how Tom Cruise, all these guys stay so beautiful, and these women stay so beautiful. They're drinking the baby blood, the adrenochrome, and that happened on Epstein's Island. That's documented, and all that stuff is coming out. But the problem is, it's all on YouTube videos and other videos that most of you guys are probably done looking at now. I mean, I've sent you 1,000 videos, right?
But okay, you think you figure Epstein having all this like what do we call that? Power over pretty much anybody who's ever went to that island. You figure that would put him as the world's most powerful man.
You think it would, but you know the problem with Epstein
Right.
was not a billionaire up until say 4 or 5 years ago, and I heard it was some Chinese people that gave him his money. He was just like the front man for the pedo island. He wasn't actually his island. He's not even an actual real businessman, like a billionaire. He was just put in that place.
So was he blackmailing people for money to
they would
get
do
money?
lots of that videotaping and stuff. And you heard
Which
about,
is common.
Do you know who Abramovich is with the spirit cooking?
Let's go with the wasn't the prince involved in that or
Prince Andrew, the royals. Yeah,
one of the royals.
Yeah, man. So satanic ritualistic abuse. There have been some survivors that have survived that, and there's one famous girl that did from the royals.
Yeah,
And
she
said
ran
this-
away or something.
Yeah, she's seen the royal family all dressed up in their robes and with a satanic and drinking the blood and doing all these orgy and crazy things. The royals are
Couldn't
huge.
have been wine though.
No, it's not wine.
Because if you see someone drinking a red, could have been a glass of wine. no?
Yeah. No, so the royals are huge sex traffickers along with a lot of the other royals. Now, the royals are also all dead. They've already been taken care of. They're done. There's been Prince Charles and a few others, and their clones don't look anything like them. So there's also, you guys have heard, you ready for this one? You haven't heard this one yet?
Oh,
This one in
boy.
my back pocket for you.
Fuck, he's very excited.
Oh boy,
King John III.
King John. Dad,
There
I don't
is-
think you're ever going to be able to go back to work.
There is a King John who is actually the rightful heir. The royals and the seals on the outside of Buckingham Palace have been changed.
Yeah.
The royals are done. They were criminal bastards, and they weren't the right people that were supposed to be in there. So there's actually King John, who's going to be announced here in a year as well.
Oh fuck. Okay, no, but fuck that. Fuck that year.
Okay.
Within the 5 or 6 months, if this shit doesn't go down, like you said,
Yes.
we're gonna head down to the beach.
Yes.
And then hold on. You said you will actually back off.
Absolutely. Yeah. If come January, okay.
Because-
I will be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
If JFK doesn't
But you're
come
gonna
out
know you got
October
fucked
17th,
or you got hoodwinked.
And well, my hope if he doesn't come out October 17th, I would say okay, our best guess was wrong, and I still think he's alive and something's going on. But I would have to admit I'm wrong about that date. Yeah. And if by January the stuff isn't coming out, then yeah, I would have to. I would have to.
And you're gonna repent and go back to like following the Bible.
Yeah, I already have.
No, but follow the Bible instead of all this other crock of shit. Because
Yeah. So the tough part for me is as sure, I've told you this too, as sure as I am that Jesus is alive and I was baptized in that spirit, I have the same knowledge of assurance in all the stuff I'm telling you.
Oh, fuck Dano.
Crazy, eh? You know, Noah was called crazy too when he was building the ark.
Yeah.
You know?
Did they ever find that ark?
I believe they did, yeah. On top of a mountain.
I don't think they did, but I watched a 4-hour special and they were supposed to find it.
And at the end, no ark.
I almost fucking jumped out of my fucking window. I was so pissed off.
All right, we're running a half hour on this, dude. Should we break it?
I think, do you have anything else you want to ask Dan? Ram?
I'm pretty impressed that you came up with that stuff.
Oh, well, fuck.
Anything else? You got to have one more.
Yeah, man, you honestly... Stop! You gotta stop calling fucking Trudeau a pedophile, man.
Oh man.
Okay, let's touch Trudeau.
I sent you that thing, right?
Yeah, I know you did, but hold on
too.
for a sec here. Are you not worried that like sooner than later they're gonna start? Like trying to charge people for saying that because it's slander.
It's true.
Okay, and is it just
It's
that
true
one
it's
girl?
slander, or it's true that he's
he's a pedophile.
holy
Two
fuck.
times in North Vancouver. There's a story. I sent it to I sent it to him. I did.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you too. It's an actual news
he
story.
did pay. Apparently, he paid
2 different families off,
to
bro.
hide it up.
Okay, but
But there was
but he's part of Pedo Island too, or Pedo
Yes,
Island too, right?
absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah, the sick part is in a lot of ways they get these children around is at the ports because we're only checking like 3% of the shipments. And
they're in containers.
Yes, and Hillary Clinton, her code name was Evergreen, in the CIA. I guess whoever she was, she had a code name, and it was Evergreen, and it's on all those shipping containers. The Evergreen shipping
I
containers.
still see some of those trucking around.
They
here.
might have children in them.
Okay. Jesus. But anyways, Dan, and then you went on to accuse fucking Trudeau of having fucking pedophile orgies in Parliament.
Yeah, this is crazy for you guys. Check this out. So when I was doing the advocacy group, right, there was a guy named John St. James, and he was a limo driver for these guys.
Yeah.
For I think Trudeau was some of his last, but he'd been in there for like 20 years driving these guys around, and he said some of the sick debauchery that he's seen where young girls coming in and out of the places, and he'd be the one to help drive them home and stuff like that. 13, 14, 15, some young girls, and doing orgies in the Parliament.
I can believe some of that stuff because fucking just like you go back to any band that you loved growing up. If you loved Kiss or if you loved fucking Guns N' Roses or Led Zeppelin, Metallica, girls would come up with fake ID or not even sometimes, and they look 13, 14, but these guys would fucking,
difference when you're definitely the PM or anybody in government, you're supposed to have a higher standard, right? You should not be screwing 14, 15-year-old girls.
So what happened to Trump moving all the warships out to, and aiming them at China and shit? And
I never wrote that or knew anything about that.
well,
No, you will not find that in there. I've never said that.
Yes, you will.
Nope.
Yes, you will.
I
Search it.
did say there was 2 ships,
Yeah.
the Mercy and another one that were in New York Harbor where they were supposed to be there for corona victims,
Yeah.
and they ended up being used for the children instead.
Oh, yeah.
But I never-
they
but
saved the children.
But it had nothing to do with China. And
So why do?
warships.
So did they save the children?
Yes,
So why wouldn't they want to play that in the mainstream media?
they will. That's part of those announcements I'm saying that you're going to see in
Okay.
January. Apparently, if you were to try to leak part of this out, and you know the other thing too, Marco,
Yeah.
this is huge. If you're going to tell 8 billion people, or I think they lie about the numbers, I think it's more like 3. But if they're gonna tell you billions of people that this stuff is going on, how many people are going to go fucking crazy? Everything I said
Yeah.
comes true. What's that going to do to the average person?
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's a little dicey, right?
Yeah, you don't want to spread fear.
Yeah, dude, it's a little dicey about just the children in general. How many people lost their children? Like Disney had a tunnel by it.
Yeah.
How many people lost their children? Or even when the cancer beds come out, that we actually have a cure for cancer. How many people have died of cancer? And they actually have a cure. And they started HIV on purpose. Every which way.
So you believe almost every fucking conspiracy theory?
Oh, no. There's why I just told you I don't believe in aliens, right? And I don't believe in the time travel.
Okay, there's 2 out of like 1,000 that you just mentioned.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
For those who are coming late to the party, while we were in isolation, Donald Trump is using his army to rescue children all over the world from sex trafficking. It's going to come out that major stars, politicians, celebrities, but that's nothing. They've been involved in torture, killing, eating, and drinking their blood for adrenochrome, pure adrenaline from children sold to millionaires. The list is everyone from Oprah, Marco's favorite, Ellen, Tom Hanks. You know what? I will just post the names. They are not isolated but under arrest. The crimes are so terrible, there will be no trial. Hollywood is finished. You will never see you will never see another Hollywood movie with Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, Will Ferrell. I loved him. He's also on the list. He's done.
He didn't do shit. All he did was run naked and fucking.
No, I know. I wish.
What? They're taking down Frank the Tank?
Yeah, Frank the Tank.
Oh,
You should see him without his adrenochrome. He doesn't look good.
Oh fuck! I've had like 12 beers, man. You're killing me. You're fucking killing
Well, that's
me.
what the
man.
show is about, right? Beers is in the title, I believe, isn't
Yeah,
it?
beers with Brokeass, but fuck, man.
So what's the next step here now? I was saying to Marco, I think we should get one of these topics or something where me and Desi there believe, right?
Yeah.
And you and Jab and Alex also watch these things, and then you go ahead and pick it apart and tell me why you guys don't think it's real.
Well, damn. Why is because, fuck. Like for the last, you heard that Desi guy. Mm-hmm. He said these indictments and all this shit was supposed to be 10 years ago, because he's been following it for 14 years.
Yeah.
So how do you believe something if they keep spinning it and it's been fucking 10
Well,
years?
yeah. So they heard about the indictments, but it was never
official.
a point. No, nice. It was never at a point it is now where you've got Q, and Q didn't come around until 2017.
Yeah.
You only right now we're at the end. This is almost done.
Oh, I hope so,
If it was
because
10
honestly,
years ago,
man,
it'd be a nightmare.
I'm fucking like for real. I'm worried about you, man, because all this here, I'm seeing just bullshit. Red flags going off. That's what I'm seeing. But I'm gonna hear you out until the 5 or 6 months.
Yes.
I'm gonna say, fuck, maybe I'm wrong.
You are going to be saying that.
No, I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But when the time
You should
comes,
continue on that thought.
yes. But when the time comes and this shit isn't happening,
Yes.
and it's not in the media and it's not in the mainstream and all this stuff, you have to man up,
Totally.
and then you have to backtrack and go, fuck, maybe.
Before then, within the next, by the end of November, the mainstream media is going to start putting some of this stuff out.
Okay, good.
All right, boys, I think we've done it.
Yeah, I think
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah. No. Thank you,
Thanks
Donny
for having
G.
me on. This has actually been very wonderful.